The following program was paid for by Southern American Media. Fox 30 WGBC invites you to the talk of all the towns in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good Thursday morning. Welcome back. Let me put my hat on.
I was going to say, now they know. They know the truth.
Got to have the hat on.
Do you normally ever go on air?
No, I normally never do that.
Oh, we just had that discussion about hair.
Yeah, and that's where it come from. Of whoops.
Sorry, not prepared.
Some folks got scared on that one there.
Oh, hey, can I say this real quick before I forget? You know, I have to drive through downtown Meridian to get here to your studio.
How'd y'all do?
It was just me. I mean,
Charlie didn't come, did he?
No, Charlie just, I don't know. He would want to sit in my lap the whole time. He's my little Chihuahua, Chiweenie dog. Actually, it's not mine. It's my grand dog. But driving through downtown, I was so impressed because it was hustling and bustling and people just walking, and the new Starbucks over at the 3-foot building.
Oh, that's right. I haven't been in there.
People were sitting out there drinking their coffee, and it just made me think of, like, when I travel or, you know, take vacations, I usually try to do road trips and go into these small towns like maybe Montana or somewhere like that.
Right.
And it reminds me of those, like in Oregon or somewhere like that, where it's just these small, cute, revitalized downtown areas that are hustling and bustling. And that's what it looked like this morning.
And we do have a great time.
Yeah, we do.
When we're out there, we just don't have time to stop and have the coffee with them, do we?
They were using all the tables at the Starbucks.
Well, great.
I got to get up and go over there one morning.
Check it out. And the only time that, wait a minute, we were in Tupelo that my first time of that you introduced me to a
Starbucks?
Yeah.
I mean, was it really in Tupelo?
Yeah. Tupelo, Mississippi.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, many moons ago.
Yeah.
What do y'all get when you go to Starbucks?
I get a caramel macchiato.
Caramel macchiato.
Large, and I refuse to say
Pull that mic up.
grande. I refuse to say grande. I don't know why, because I think it's grande. I always get the biggest. I always say I want the biggest.
I understand that. I always get a black coffee, and I end up feeling at the end of the day that I'd rather get the McDonald's coffees.
McDonald's has some good coffee.
They do. If you're just getting black coffee, I feel like they put rocks at the bottom of the Starbucks coffees. You kind of got to.
No, I agree with you, Dylan. I agree. It's very strong.
You brought this up, and I have not tried it. You said that you and your sister have been to PJ's.
Yeah, that peanut butter jelly
they
place. That stuff's pretty killer.
Peanut butter and jellies. They have great coffee. They really do. I go there every once in a while and get me a good old coffee. But I agree with you on the strong coffee, but I'm a strong coffee drinker. I like my coffee super strong.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's scary. It's like lead over here.
My sister gets so irritated at me because I like, and my husband too, when I start making coffee at home, I want the coffee while it's brewing because it's going to be the strongest. And I will flip out of bed and do flips all the way to the coffee maker if I hear or smell coffee making to get that first.
You as it was pouring out, would put your cup under it and not wait till.
I wouldn't wait, so everybody else gets the weak stuff. Because I get the strongest of it.
That stuff make you high as a Georgia pine when it's straight out of that.
It's good.
Now, we've also got that other coffee company that moves around with a trailer around Meridian.
Oh, I know. I've had their coffee too.
It'll come to me in a second. Nice people, very nice people.
I can't think of the name of it.
It'll hit you.
Somebody tell us what the name of that is. It's they're really good too. I love me a good cup of coffee.
And the sad part, Meridian, and Dylan, I hate you missed out on this, is Meridian really lost an icon when we lost the hot dog lady, the hot dog hottie. Anybody remember her?
I remember.
Where the lines would be all over the place in the parking lot of Walmart just to catch a glimpse of
Dylan was a baby.
Yeah, he'd have still liked it.
This is beyond me.
Yeah, Dylan. You should be ashamed of your father.
No one really cared what was on the hot dog because it was like cleavage central, and that's why people stood in line. Let's just tell it how it really is.
So back when we did radio together, there was a girl that she set up a food truck out at Walmart in Bonita, and she was called the Hot Dog Hottie. And guys, and I would drive by there and just look. the guys at lunchtime would line up. And then people would call in and say, I don't know what to do. My wife found 12 hot dog wrappers in my car. Like knowing he had been to the hot dog hut one too many times. But she was solely just serving hot dogs.
Yep.
But she just couldn't help it that she was so good looking.
I ran into her a few years later, and she had done quite well.
I bet she did.
I mean, extremely well. And she asked me not to bring up the fact where we were that she was the hot dog hottie. So I kept my mouth shut and blended on off there. Never brought it up.
Just good looks and hot dogs. I mean, she was a success. I mean, that was a good one.
That's sort of the principle behind restaurants like Hooters, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Hooters.
It works.
I remember when we took you for the first time.
I do too.
Dylan, how old were you when he took you?
I don't know, 15, something
Somewhere along with that.
Was it a family thing, or was it just?
I mean, it was just a family thing. We were out, on vacation on the beach, and it was just
the whole family went to
pleasant memory.
We even had pictures made there.
A pleasant memory, he said.
That's right.
I know Mike tried one time. We drive to Nashville all the time, and when our girls were young, I remember one time we were all asleep in the car, and Mike was driving, and we were waiting for him to take us somewhere to eat, like stop somewhere.
Right.
We woke up in the Hooters parking lot, and I was like, "The good try, Mike. Move on."
You're getting answers to what the name of the coffee
Jumpstart.
place. Yeah.
Jumpstart coffee.
So we asked in the comments where people got their coffee. So everybody's chiming in with where they drink their coffee. Connie John says that she goes to PJ's every single day.
Good.
Let's see. Let me come down.
A good
here.
local business.
Brian
Jumpstart
Troy.
Coffee is the truck.
Yeah, everybody's saying they go to Jumpstart Coffee. That's 3 in a row. Becky Brown, Nelda Coley, Jeff Dean. All of them are going to Jumpstart Coffee. Brian Troy said he goes to Joe on the Go. I have never heard of those two.
Joe on the Go. Where's Joe on the Go?
Joe on the Go, Jumpstart Coffee. I've never heard of these places.
Jumpstart is the truck,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
Truck, okay.
don't they move around to a different place all
Yes.
the time?
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I'm one of those that I have to have a particular brand. I am hooked on Folgers Simply Smooth, and that's what I want. I'll, in a pinch, go to
Simply
Community.
Smooth.
Yeah, it's fine.
I've never heard of it. I always
need to
drink the
try that.
custom roast. If it's not custom roast, I don't want it.
Denise says she goes down the hall for her coffee.
Yours is that silky. No? Silky black or something like that? No?
It's Simply Smooth is what it's called.
Okay, I
And it
don't
has
know.
to be
Folgers thing,
imported
right?
because nobody carries it in Meridian.
You sure it's coffee? I've never. You want to call Folders and make sure that's really coffee.
Ruh-roh.
Getting a lot of good mornings.
Yeah.
Black Silk is the one I'm thinking of. Black Silk, I've heard of the Folgers Black Silk because you used to buy that at the radio station. Thought we were being fancy.
We did. We did.
And I didn't like it.
But Community is a great backup. Now, when you get into what's that other brand?
Maxwell House.
Maxwell.
yeah.
It's
I
it's
can't
not
do
my
it.
kind of thing.
I'm so snobby about my coffee. Now, if I have zero coffee, I'll drink anything. I'll drink any kind of coffee.
Oh, there's nothing worse than horrible motel coffee.
No,
we all know
there
that.
is.
We know.
Hospital coffee is worse than that. Hospital coffee where they're trying to keep you without the caffeine. Yeah,
You're
that's
right.
really bad. Folgers medium. See, I drink the I guess it's called custom roast, which I think is medium.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I've gotten a thumbs up here from
What?
Carrie Latham, who just sent me a thing. She's into the Simply Smooth also.
She is she really?
That's what she says. Look at
Oh,
my text.
why have I never heard of that?
Right there. It says so.
Oh, Simply Smooth. Haven't heard of it. And I'm a Folgers. I mean, Folgers from way back. It's funny because do you remember the Taster's Choice freeze-dried coffee?
Oh, yeah.
So, back when I was young, everybody drank freeze-dried coffee. Like,
They
it was
did?
a big thing. And hadn't heard of it for 100 years. And one day, and I don't know if this is just as people get older, like in their 80s or something, they start reminiscing about old products, And my mom would all of a sudden come up with this oddness of, hey, she'll write a grocery list and she said, get some Taster's Choice freeze-dried coffee. So my sister and I would be running everywhere looking for freeze-dried coffee, and they still sell it.
Now, and y'all tell me how to handle this. My mother has gotten elderly and she's had a stroke, and she still has this thing about she wants, is it instant coffee where you put the hot water and dump it over?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Right. And she doesn't need to be operating a stove at this point. And she's got it in her head that she should, and I don't know what to do about it.
So what is she boiling?
She's boiling the water.
You need to get one of those things that I got for my camper. It's the fast. Dylan, Invection. Does that sound right? Invection.
Oh yeah, I know.
It heats it super fast, and it's in a kettle.
Yes.
And it wouldn't hurt her then.
No, it doesn't get hot. I mean, you can't tell, and it heats it like in less than a minute.
Huh.
For coffee, and if you do pour over coffees, and because I like to do pour over coffees in my camper.
Dylan, did we miss some more people talking about coffee? Did they have some more places and stuff they were mentioning?
Let's see, we got Alex Harrell saying that he likes Black Rifle coffee.
I've heard of that. That's some strong stuff, I think.
Let's step on back. I know there were a couple people for sure.
K-cup. Scotty Ray's got a K-cup over here. That's too expensive for my taste.
Well, I
drink too much coffee.
Little flippy thing. You put your own coffee.
I don't think it makes it strong enough.
Mine is great.
Well, to me, you have to put so much coffee in it to make one cup. It just seems like it defeats it. But that's just my thing. An electric kettle, yeah. And these are I keep saying invection. It might be convection. I'm not sure, but it heats it so fast. That's what you need for your mom.
A hot shot, Debbie Mole says.
Oh, that might be it.
Maureen File says to try chock full of nuts coffee. It's apparently some kind of ground coffee you can get.
Chock full of nuts. I know I did 3 shots of espresso one time in Las Vegas and almost had a heart attack.
Yeah, that'll do it to you.
I seriously did.
Remember that guy from the Foo Fighters went to the hospital for drinking too much coffee.
Yeah.
Went into like cardiac arrest or something.
I really thought I was going to the Cher concert and I was real tired from traveling. And somebody said, "Oh, do some espresso shots," and I'd never done it, and I did 3. And I seriously, I had to sit down. My heart started fluttering so bad. Yeah. So, yeah.
More on the way with Scotty Ray and Debbie as we begin your day. As Debbie graciously helps us out filling in for Candace this week. More up. Dylan Ray's helping as well.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is passing along these great savings this week. California strawberries, 2 for $5. Fresh peaches, $1.99 a pound. Vidalia onions, a 3-pound bag, only $3.99. Heinz tomato ketchup, 32-ounce, $3.49. Boneless whole pork loin, $1.79 a pound. And boneless center cut pork chops family pack, $2.49 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Welcome back with Scotty Ray and Debbie. It is Thursday. This week is flying. And if you are missing are you missing a cow?
No, obviously I'm not.
I
may have eaten the cow. I don't know.
We had a boo-boo last night, and we need to go ahead and talk about the boo-boo. Somebody's cow got out, and if you had a cow, no longer have a cow, this is what happened. We had an accident last night on Windsor Road, and a cow has been hit. I think everybody's okay, but you just can't see them at dark.
Is the cow gone on to another pasture?
The Wild Blue Yonder.
I was picking a friend up over in Tumbasuba. And one morning we were going out of town, and it was early, and it was just getting light out, and in the middle of that road was a big old cow laying in it. Scared me to death. Scared me to death. It was dead, and it was still there when we came back. Yeah.
So. We got somebody in the comments saying Roy Ellis down here. He's wanting to wish his son Cody Ellis a good happy birthday today. So.
Happy birthday.
Did he give an age on it, or he just say happy birthday?
No, he just said, want to say happy birthday to my son Cody Ellis, which short, sweet, sounds sincere.
Yeah.
And, Roy's always with us, so.
Appreciate that.
Of course, absolutely.
As we look around at things that are going on, if you hadn't had a chance to visit the webpage this morning or either over to our Facebook page, we go to the big news that come out of Newton yesterday.
This is a very sad story.
It is.
Right here. It was an attempted murder and a suicide.
Correct.
Yeah.
The murder didn't happen, but the suicide did. A young lady was shot in the face.
Mm-hmm.
I spoke with investigators and the chief of police there of Newton, Horrifying. They go in, she's been shot in the face. And the way they worded it to me was, miracles do happen. Can you imagine being shot in the face? They said that a smidgen difference, it would have been totally different.
And she had enough left in her to call 911, correct? And then when they got there, they found her shot in the face, and then the boyfriend had committed suicide outside of the house.
Yeah, they he hadn't went far. It was like around the corner, and they found him. And he was alive when they got there. And then he succumbed to the bullet wound after that.
I hate that.
Just horrible. We don't know what, you never know what goes on behind closed doors. And this is the same thing that happened in Meridian where Officer Kroom lost his life. Of a domestic call comes in, and the police have to, they never know what they're going to encounter. People are mad, they're yelling at one another, and if they've got a firearm or not anything, they can cause harm to others.
Yeah, and it's sad because a lot of it is past domestic abuse that they've reported before, and then it escalates to something like this. I just read a story yesterday, and I can't remember if it was out of Missouri or somewhere like that, but a woman had tried to get a restraining order against her husband. She was filing for a divorce, and he had threatened to commit suicide in her and her children's presence. And they refused her the restraining order, and he came and killed them all. I know. So, and I've always kind of wondered, what does a restraining order really do? I mean,
I think at the end of the day, it only helps police be able to arrest them if they get within
immediately.
A few feet.
Yeah, because they cannot step on the property. Yeah.
But is that going to stop somebody from crossing that line? No. If they've got mental issues, and so many times, and I feel for police and all these EMTs that have to go into these scenes.
Michelle Addy said the domestics are the worst. Lost her sister in 2020 to domestic violence. If they could only get away from them. And, people always say, well, why didn't they leave? Why didn't they leave? But there's various reasons.
To a degree.
I mean, there's some brainwashing. There, threats. There's a lot of reasons people don't leave.
They've even threatened, if you leave, I'm going to go after your family. Things like that.
And usually somebody that's in a situation like that, they always come back and they're always so sorry and I will never do it again. And they get you convinced and you're living your life and you don't want to leave your life.
Right.
And so you try to, denial goes a long way.
Like that time you told me you'd never slap my hand again. I believed you until the next time it happened.
Dylan, I didn't mean to, but I had to slap his hand. Scotty Ray was about to shake somebody's hand that he shouldn't have been shaking their hand. And I popped him real hard in front of everybody, and he was like, don't you ever do that. I'm so sorry.
Back in the day when things happened there.
Yeah.
Oh, I see you got another birthday, Dylan.
Yeah, it looks like Brian Troy, his uncle Jim Harrison's having a happy birthday, so we definitely want to wish him a happy birthday. I like the name Jim Harrison. I work with a professor named Jim Garrison down at Purdue University every now and then, so that's got a nice ring to it.
It's got a strong name.
Very, very, very smooth name. I like a good Harrison Garrison.
Well, yesterday we had another boo-boo, that big rain that came through, y'all. It was heavy. Let's take a look at some pictures here of what went on here. We had an 18-wheeler overturn on I-20. This is right underneath the Jimmie Rodgers Parkway. Mile marker 156 underneath the bridge. Just flipped, went onto its side. The driver was okay. And as we look at another angle, this is the back side of this, and as we look at the front, there that is. Now, let's do this and let you look at this if you've never seen an 18-wheeler getting turned back over. This is pretty neat. As Simmons Wrecker came out yesterday to save the day. They do that, it flips it back. I've never watched that before. If you want to continue watching that, go to our Facebook page, Scotty Ray Report, and take a look.
I mean, so when they flipped it back over, did they have to tow it, or was it drivable?
Yeah, it was towed. It was all messed up there.
Wow. I mean, you remember the time I accidentally flipped the Excursion?
Yep.
I know I talk about that Excursion, but it's so famous. But I flipped it on its side like that, and it's pretty big, and they had to do the same thing and pull it up like that.
I was in Texas.
And then I just drove it on home and acted like nothing happened.
This also, within 30 seconds, it was reported in Meridian. We got the 18-wheeler just flipped. And then Rump Row over on Highway 39, we had this going on yesterday during that rain. This is right in front of the lights, right before you get to the red light at North Hills.
Yeah.
Somebody wrecked and hit a power pole, knocked it down. Everybody's okay, but again, it's scary, that rain that happened.
Did it knock a lot of power out?
About 5 places went down.
Boy, that rain came hard and fast, didn't it? The wind really kicked up, and the lightning. Whew, that was some serious lightning yesterday. I was on the phone with somebody, and they said, "Did you just get shot?" Because it sounded like it hit my house.
It was a bunch of, and we also, I didn't know this, but we had, didn't know they even done this. They have an EMS memorial that comes through kind of like the Thunder Run, that goes for the wall every year. But this is passed through Meridian, through the state of Mississippi, to where the EMS is going to Washington. They had a big tribute in Jackson, Mississippi yesterday. A bunch of ambulances go to Washington.
So this is just a memorial type thing, and are they legislating for something?
Must be. They do it yearly, from what I understand, and they go up. And they do a lot of work behind the scenes that nobody pays attention to sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to give a lot of respect to an EMS, the things that they see and the things that they have to do.
And, in that bill that got passed, and somebody ought to feel shamed about this, to where police officers and medical workers, if they died, lost a family member to COVID, they covered the expenses of the funerals, but they did not cover EMS workers.
Which I don't understand, because they are the ones that were picking them up. Front line, picking them up and getting them to the hospital and taking the risk, going into the homes.
Yeah, I just feel like something ought to be, that's wronged, in my opinion.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay, Francis, what's Francis saying over there, Dylan Ray, about coffee? She's got something to say that was on 8th Street there.
Yeah, check it out.
On 8th Street.
I was captivated by how many birthdays there are.
Oh, is there a bunch more?
Oh, yeah. 45th birthday to a Travis Irby. So,
wow.
Hold on, let me say. Who'd you say left a comment about coffee?
Let's see right here. Miss Frances Glosson was telling us there about some coffee.
Yeah, that's right. Nyloons.
Do you know Nyloons? I never heard. That must have been a long time
Nylons? Ago. I don't know.
Nylons. No, I've never heard of it. Have you?
Nope. That's brand spanking
Never heard of
to
it.
me.
But we do have an anniversary also. Happy anniversary to Jeremy and Terry Lou Hopkins. Did I read that right?
Yeah.
Jerry Terry Lou.
21 years.
There's a lot going on July 14th.
I know.
Travis Irby, 45. Happy 45th birthday.
Good morning from Bailey.
Yeah.
Duck Hill. What is that?
Duck Hill, Mississippi. That's North Mississippi.
Oh, okay. I just saw
way.
shots. Oh, shots being
Shots. Firing range.
fired. Wait a minute. Let's read that again. Beautiful day from Duck Hill. You can read this different ways. Beautiful day from Duck Hill. Shots being fired.
And now we're going live with Levi to interview about shots being fired.
It wouldn't shock anybody. Is what the thing is if that was happening.
Somebody said they almost got into a wreck in Poplar Springs Road. The person at the stop sign started pulling out and slammed on the brakes. That was probably me. Yeah, they didn't T-bone them. That's good. No
Those
wreck.
accidents happen at red lights, to when out of the corner you're thinking about something else and the car in front of you moves a little bit and then stops again and then
Every accident I've ever been in happened that way. Car beside me
moves.
I take off, slammed into the back of a Mississippi Power truck and totaled my car one time. I mean, the airbags went out. My kids couldn't get out of the car. It was a mess. And that was at a dead stop. And all somebody did was make a left turn. Mm-hmm. And I was in the other turn. Yeah.
I assume that Tony was slipping and sliding because of the thick wall of rain that just swamped everybody yesterday.
It was. That was a good little good. Well, kind of needed it too, and it cooled things. Boy, it felt so good outside after that.
It did. Let's hope this stays with us.
I don't know if it's my age or what, but I cannot stand the heat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's getting bad.
I mean, 105, 150. What was the heat index one day? It got up to 115.
115. I saw it.
That's deathly. Mm-hmm. Stay inside.
We got one more birthday. Gail Duet from Manon Hatch. Is that
from where?
Manon Hatch. I apologize. I definitely don't know how to get that name.
Oh, we got another one there that you missed there. Lacey Avent having a birthday.
Happy birthday to you, Lacey. What is it? Where are you reading the Manon Hatch? What do you
must
say?
be on up.
It's just a little bit up. Go up right above Shane Cook. Yeah, right there. Manon Duet. I assume.
I doubt that's what it says.
Well, you give it a shot.
I know, that's okay.
I'm over here doing my best.
I'm good. Happy birthday to my mom, Gail Duet. And her name it's Mignon. I know.
Mignon?
I bet it's
the
Mignon.
filet?
Mignon, yeah, Mignon. Mignon, if we got that right, if I got that right.
Shout me out in the
Let me know.
comments if I'm reading your name right.
Hey, somebody mentioned Mia's across from the train station. Very good.
Y'all got me on that one.
Mia's. They have
Sadie
great coffee.
Stewart is 7 years old today, y'all. So happy birthday to her. Look at y'all. Having a good one there. All right, says that we might have had an issue on television. Hopefully they'll get that fixed here in just a second here on the television side.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll get that. Another big thing coming up in the state of Mississippi is the state tax day, to where if you buy supplies, you won't be taxed for your kids.
It's not just supply. Is it all supplies?
Well, it's going to be
let me
July
go through it.
29th and 30th is what it is. It's school supplies.
Oh, it is school
It's $100 and less. If it's $101, you don't get the free tax. And it's per item. Like you can't buy an item that is, it could go over 100, but each item has to be less than 100. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I used to do that. I mean, they've done this for forever.
Years.
Yeah. And you always try to get all your school supplies in. And I wanted to ask, did we miss the stuff the bus?
No, we haven't.
And this is a perfect time to get some of these supplies.
Right.
Oh, you mean?
I was just going to give you the info so we
Let
had
me
the right
just
there.
read that.
It's going on today.
Oh, okay. And well, today you can do the Stuff the Bus, Lauderdale County. It's from 9 until 3, Raising Cane's and Uptown Meridian. What is this for the?
The others have already happened.
Okay. So yeah, if you want to help out with some school supplies, because it's tough. A lot of families have a lot of hardship getting all these supplies, and a lot of times it's left on the teachers. The teachers
They have to fill in the blanks.
They have to fill in the blanks, and so if you can help out when you go to buy your children's supplies, or even if you're just a grandma and you want to add some to it, or find you a child that needs some supplies, help out with that, because it does run into a lot of money.
And you have to really put yourself in the place of a teacher. A teacher sees what we don't see of a needy child. They see what they're not, whether it's attention, whether it's money, they're not, they bless them. They see so much and they have to deal with that. It has to be tough.
They do, and they buy all of their own supplies for their room, all of their, I guess, art and things that they do for to dress up their room or activities. They put all their money into that,
Right.
which I have yet to understand. It seems like they shouldn't have to.
Shouldn't have to, but it happens.
No.
You brought this up yesterday about 7-Eleven. You remember the
Yeah.
folks that got shot?
Yeah.
7-Eleven has put out a $100,000 reward for information leading to the rest of the people that were shot there, who did it in their stores.
They shot 6 people.
Yeah.
How many died?
That I'm unsure of. Not off the top of my head. I'd have to go back and...
So senseless. And they waited.
Well, we got definitely 2 killed, a 40-year-old and a 26-year-old that died. Others were shot.
Yeah.
But they're up in the ante there to get these people caught. I
And
hope
that
they
was
do.
all in California, in Southern California. Yeah.
Boy. Now, I mentioned this morning. There's nothing wrong with having a view. Maybe you don't like gas cars. Maybe you don't like electric cars. But this happened in the UK, and then now it's starting to take over New York City, to where the people with electric cars that are trying to get their point across are going out slashing the tires of people with gasoline engine cars because they want to.
They better not.
Do you realize that like a set of tires
So you're
for a
saying
truck,
that somebody that has an electric car is so upset that somebody still has a
gasoline-powered car
that
are
they would
cutting the
just,
tires?
What if you can't afford a new car?
Well, that's
what
true.
if you can't afford to buy a new electric car?
And you look at this now, Dylan will testify that tires are not cheap.
Oh, God, no.
No.
A set of a good mud grips on a truck now, somewhere around $1,400-$1,500. Average set is going to be $1,000 for 18-inch. Average could be more. Some of your 13-inch tires may be still $300 or $400, but it ain't many. It's going to be $500-$600 or even more when you get into these big trucks.
I mean, I don't even understand why, unless they're willing to go out and buy somebody an electric car.
But they don't
Why
care.
don't you just buy them an electric car?
Yeah.
Leave them a nice little note and say, please don't use your gas car. And here, I've bought you a new Tesla to drive.
I didn't think of that. That's just a way to
or a
solve all the
Prius, or whatever the electric car is.
All I think of is Jeff Dunham in the Prius stuff, if y'all remember.
I
that.
drove
It
a
was
Prius
funny.
that time.
It was
Remember when
funny.
they first came out?
Yeah.
I didn't own it. I just drove it.
She got up to, I think, 5 miles an hour going downhill.
No, it actually drove pretty good, but when you stop, deadness. And it would just freak me out. I mean, I just didn't.
And a lot of these with this EcoBus thing now do that, to where you pull up to a red light and you don't hit that extra button on there, they go dead. And I don't like that.
But yeah, my daughter's car does that, and it kind of spooks me.
It does.
A little bit. It's like, oh, I mean, back in our day, if a car did that, you're going to get out and start working on a motor somewhere. It's not coming back.
Let's take a minute and talk about our friends at Maples Gas. Now, for the rest of us who still drive these gasoline-powered cars, they'll take care of you with the lowest price they can get you on gas pumps. Also, if you're looking for breakfast this morning, stop on in over at St. Paul Street, or you can go to Causeyville. They've got bacon, eggs, and biscuits all ready for you this morning. Make you hungry with some sausage. And, of course, the menu's coming out in just a little bit for the lunchtime. Go by and see them there. If you're looking for coffee, they got that. 6 cup of coffee is free. The Loyalty Coffee Program. Still got that going on. A lot of cold drinks. Well, they got anything that you might be wanting, including pizza. Maybe you need a lottery ticket or just, a candy bar. They got all that. You can find that at the 6 locations at Bonita, Pine Springs, Causeyville, or maybe drop in the Last Chance Tobacco, Broadmoor Chevron, or the 31st one. Drop in and see them. They'll make you a deal there. Lots going on. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is passing along these great savings this week. California strawberries, 2 for $5. Fresh peaches, $1.99 a pound. Vidalia onions, a 3-pound bag, only $3.99. Heinz tomato ketchup, 32-ounce, $3.49. Boneless whole pork loin, $1.79 a pound. And boneless center-cut pork chops family pack, $2.49 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Spring is here, and it's time to quit spending all of your weekend cutting grass when you could step up to a Skag zero-turn mower. Freeman Tractor in Collinsville has the #1 rated zero-turn mower, Skag, with cutting widths from 36 inches to 72 inches. Skag, the #1 choice of professional landscapers, because they know nothing outcuts or outlasts a Skag. 0% financing for 48 months with payments starting as low as $129 a month. Stop by Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 and see coleslaw or buttermilk. And welcome back, Scotty Ray and Debbie. Good morning to you. Candace says hello from vacation. I saw that just a moment ago.
Candace, can't wait for you to get back. Hurry up. Hurry back, girl.
Oh, did you tell me that you had some more birthdays or something?
Yeah, Karen Wiggs Palmer says a happy 21st anniversary to Deanna and Josh Junkins. So
I always love to hear it when somebody made it that long. You just don't hear it that often.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
And I lost that pronunciation battle. I want to.
Did I win it?
You did win. You did. I was shouted out in the comments.
What's my prize? I love to win a good debate there. I love to win.
You may not win anything, but that's the start of my day. So that's going to hang over my head. So you may not have got anything, but I lost. Sorry.
It's always nice to have one feather in your cap.
Let's look at a few things that happened on this date. I found this interesting. So many movies have been made about this, and it would end up being somebody that he knew personally. And it always happens that way. As the old saying goes, the dirty coward that shot Mr. Howard down was also shot by a friend. And do you know who Mr. Howard was?
Mm-mm.
That would be Jesse James. He had assumed an identity of Howard being the last name, and he was shot in the back by somebody he knew. Same thing happened as Garrett went after this guy. Billy the Kid was killed on this date.
He was killed so was he born? Oh, he was killed in 1881.
Yeah.
So is it amazing that, I don't know about you, but my grandfather was born in 1899, a man I loved and respected, and passed away in the 80s. Isn't that crazy that the 1800s is somebody that I...
Yeah, that you know.
That I know, yeah. And my grandmother was born in 1900, so that wasn't that far off from the Billy the Kid days.
I remind you of this. Always pay attention when you go to yard sales. And this happened. It took the guy 10 years to prove it. But he went to a yard sale and he picked up an old photograph. And he liked it. He kept it. He got studying it. And he goes, I think that's Billy the Kid. It took him 10 years. This is not the picture. But it was Billy the Kid and his gang playing croquet. And it was all proven by a diary of a woman that was there, that he went back on that date in the picture. It was worth like $10 million.
Billy the Kid was playing croquet.
Croquet. It was a rare moment that somebody snapped a picture. And he proved it to be Billy the Kid. $10 million, I think, is what it sold for at auction.
Can I tell you the most shocking part of the story to me?
What's
that you said croquet correctly. Because Did it shock you, Dylan? Because I was really waiting on that
Davy
one.
Crockett.
Croquette.
Anybody ever watch Bewitched? Do you remember the nosy neighbors? What were their names?
Gladys Kravitz.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm Gladys Kravitz.
Do y'all remember her husband? George?
Yes.
However you say his
He would
last
just sit
name.
over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that. You watched
Tobias.
Arrested Development.
Tobias. He was 1901. What was he in now? What did you say about Arrested Development?
I said you know how to pronounce that. You've seen Arrested
I
Development.
did. That was a good show, too.
Yeah, you know Tobias.
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 Other things that went on today. Let's see here. Woody Guthrie. Anybody remember?
Mike's got the album.
Yeah. This is your land. This is my land. He was born on this date back in 1910. I didn't realize that was so long ago.
Yeah.
Whew. Let's see here. This one, and I'm going to test your knowledge as you and I made our way to Lake Mississippi many, many moons ago to see this young man play. He was actually
remember this.
Up in age. Who remembers this song? And it was huge. Truck drivers made this such a huge hit. The girl on the billboard wearing nothing but a smile and a towel. He passed by it every day to look at her. Del Reeves had the #1 song with that. He was born on this day back in 32.
This was some kind of festival they do every year.
Yeah, the
What was
Lake
it? The-
Lake Day, I think.
Yeah, Lake Day. I remember that. I did.
And Dale was the singer of that.
Elvis Presley again.
He did. He made national news today because he had the #1 song with "I Want You, I Need You, I Love You."
You know, back then, when there was a #1 song, it stayed #1 long enough
Yeah.
for everybody to know the song. Nowadays, they turn so fast.
Yeah.
The songs. What do you think, Dylan? Do you think that they, like, what is your music taste?
Well, I mean, that's sort of how I feel about it, is that everything is so individualized now that I don't even know what #1 really means, other than,
Right.
if something goes viral online or something,
It's things
You
that
don't
change.
have that group anymore. It's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
it's all separated and segmented, and
Yeah.
who knows?
Most people I know, they have just a handful of bands that they listen to, or some portion of a genre, and whatever is #1, whatever that means, they're just all disconnected.
And usually it's a lot of grassroots
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. Yeah.
Mike Brantley gets us straightened out about the pitcher, and now we know why they were playing croquet.
Oh, Billy the Kid's second pick was taken right after a wedding.
And they were
I
playing
wonder if they were
croquet.
playing at the Greenbrier over in Virginia, where that's where they play. They still to this day
Yeah.
play croquet.
They do.
And they all dress in white.
But it
And-
was by a farmhouse, a little wooden house. A neat picture. We'll have to find that and show that.
We played croquet as kids.
We
Did you?
didn't. We didn't have it.
We
heard
had
about
a
this.
croquet set, and we all played croquet. It was a big thing back when I was a kid. I mean, it surely wasn't rich people's game because we were not rich. It was just like a little. It would be like badminton to
Right.
some people. Yeah.
We didn't have it, though. We got any hippies watching. And I say this because I associate this movie with hippies. That's the only way I know to do it. He's an old hippie, and he just can't get over it. Back
yeah.
in '69, this hit theaters today. Easy Rider.
That was a Fonda, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
The
was, I
song.
am right, hippie, wasn't it? Wasn't it all about hippies?
Yeah, because that's. I mean, everybody was a hippie back in the 70s. Everybody.
1975, I like this guy. And I put these pictures up here to show the difference of when I met him and what he looks like now. But one of the greatest songwriters Nashville has ever seen.
I mean,
Take It
and
Away.
a
You know
voice.
the song by George Strait, Take It Away?
Yeah, he wrote it.
Yeah, he wrote it.
What
Jamie
was the big
Johnson.
one? What was the big one he did that was so
In
huge?
Pictures.
In Pictures. Oh, such a
Grandma,
good
what's
song.
that picture there?
Yeah.
It's all black and white. and
His
color.
voice is just amazing too. It's
And
so deep.
He is every bit of a guy that you'd like to want to meet. He's one of those.
Oh,
1981, I think we all know the Hag, and I'm
Yeah.
talking Merle Haggard. He had a robbery. It happened. They stole $175,000 worth of his equipment. Now, it'd take a day or two, but they got it all back. That the Hag was robbed.
they didn't steal his wig, did they?
No, they didn't.
No, they should have.
I never watched this show because I couldn't stand it. I know you that you
Oh,
watched it.
Scotty Ray, you're gonna get. That is one of the best shows ever. Dylan, have you ever watched this?
I haven't. No,
It's iconic. You got to watch it.
I was about to say I think I was looking up things to watch on Netflix last night, and I think it was
This
like
one.
one of the top suggested ones. And I was like,
Yeah, yeah, you've got to watch
Had
it.
that scene
It's so
in it
great.
that
Yeah,
I can't talk about on TV.
yeah, it's a very good, very good.
wasn't
movie.
it on TV?
They may have edited it out. I don't know. It may have been, but it was just one of those scenes. We'll leave it at that. Y'all watch the movie to find out. 1990, this was the number one song, and it hit home with a lot of folks. Anybody remember Garth, The Dance? It went number one.
Great song. And have you watched the Garth Brooks documentary?
Have not.
I think it's on Hulu, maybe Hulu. Really good. It really goes. I mean, he gets pretty dramatic through a lot of it, but it tells his entire story, and he tells it, and the bad, the good, all of it, and why he took that retirement. Remember, he retired.
Yeah.
For 10 years to raise his kids, and he goes into detail about all of it and how hard it was to come back and not know if people really wanted him. And remember, a million people showed up, and
it's still happening every day.
Yes.
Like him or not, he does a great concert.
Katie's gone to 2 of his Garth Brooks concerts recently in the past month or two. One, I think they were filming the Netflix deal. And she said it's still as good and great as ever.
There was a time in your life and my life where we were the spokespeople for the Silver Star Hotel and Casino. We were there every weekend for whatever happened. And we got to meet this young man there one time. B.B. King passed away on this date back in 2015.
That was a big deal.
It was. And it was an honor to meet him because he was such a nice guy. Yeah. That's a few of the things that happened on this date. We've got more to talk about, more to do before we get out of here to start your Thursday. Y'all stay with us. We'll tell you more about it all on the way.
It's just as important for a family to have their yard mowed before a birthday party as it is for someone to get hay out of the field before rain comes. They're both that important to us.
Dealing with parish is not just a product, it's the people that are there to help you. They're kind of like family, and it's just kind of like having another partner out here on my land.
One of the most important places to you is your home. That's why Patrick Allen Companies is proud to provide style, functionality, and security to your home. There's nothing quite like a well-designed overhead garage door or vinyl replacement windows, or the safety of a storm shelter to help your family feel protected. Patrick Allen offers doors and windows for commercial and industrial with dozens of innovative designs. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
Welcome back with Scotty Ray and Debbie as this Thursday morning gets underway. My son Dylan Ray joining us here also.
Hey, Dylan.
Cool hat. Hi. I'm starting to like that.
You want to wear it? You want to trade?
Why does everybody get a hat but me?
I got one over here. Do you want me to toss it?
No. I am the worst. My daughter, every time I put a hat on, everybody says I'm not a hat person because I have I don't know, maybe a skinny top part of my head. It just
doesn't look
funny.
right, huh?
You know,
but look, Denise said she must have watched that documentary. I didn't know this. When Garth and his wife divorced, and he married Trisha Yearwood, they all lived on the same property, and they took care of those kids the way they should be. When they woke up in the morning, they were with one or the other parent on the same property, as if it were as normal as the day. And all of his children, all of his daughters, talked and told how normal they kept it for them.
Do you remember when what was her name? The Ridge Sandy, wasn't that the first one? Yeah, Sandy.
Yeah.
Where she had the affair with the groundskeeper and got in all that trouble. And yeah, we'll leave it at that.
It's all on the same property.
Yeah.
Yeah, they forgot that part in the Hulu documentary.
They
didn't tell that part. Yeah.
Oh boy, if you live in Alabama, y'all get ready because coming in August 1st, you're getting a raise on your power bill. Alabama Power are already saying that a rate increase is coming because of the rising cost of fuel. If it happens in Alabama, what are the odds are that it's not going to happen in Mississippi or wherever you're watching from?
I mean, I'm kind of nervous right now because I'm on the levelized billing, and it's been the same, and they haven't adjusted it yet. And I feel like I'm going to get some kind of crazy adjustment because of this heat wave that we've had. And I can't even keep my house as cool as I want to keep it. I have 2 units, and they're just constantly buying. And one's brand new.
You know, I don't talk about Megan and Harry a whole lot because I just don't care for them. But they've hired a new head of security, and I thought I would mention this. They just apparently don't do background checks. He worked for the Jackson 5, their head of security. He got fired because he had domestic issues and he'd had a bunch of DUIs. That's their head of security. Is that the guy that you want protecting you?
So he worked for Michael Jackson. Where did you get the Jackson 5?
Well, the Jackson 5, the whole thing there.
different.
It's really all the same. I mean, really isn't Janet and Michael
They're not the same person. I mean, they're siblings, but they're not the same person.
Horrible.
Jackson 5
was a whole...
that's why, I mean, I love the Jackson 5.
Yeah.
Remember Van Mack?
Made you your
He made me my own cassette tape back in the day.
He
cassette
did.
Tapes, yeah. Of all the Jackson 5 songs. And Donny Osmond.
Kamala Harris. I don't understand her sometimes when she tries to give a speech. I think she's trying, but it just doesn't come out right. Let me read you what she said. This is what it goes. You need to get to go and need to be able to get to where you need to go to do the work and go home.
I agree.
I do too, Dylan.
I don't think that she got out her idea, but I feel that deep in my soul every day of the week.
Would you try to get
you need to go to get to go, and you need to be to go to get to go to get. I do too. I feel that way every morning when I wake up. But what do they call it? Word salad. She just it's word salad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like what better voice of the people in these times than to get to go to get to where I need to I mean,
stop. It's good advice that everybody should take to their heart and get to go.
Well, I'm ready to go.
Go and get
it. Yeah. Hey, you're getting comments that your hat reminds someone of their grandfather. Said brought back a good memory there.
Aw.
There you go there.
Is it called a fedora?
I don't think this one's a fedora. I get them all mixed up. There's fedoras, there's bowlers, there's all sorts of styles.
In the 50s, 60s, and like grandpas and everybody wore hats. Mm-hmm. It was like very common. It wasn't. It wasn't a fashion statement at all. It was they just.
It's the reason I wear mine, not to scare people.
Yeah. Well, the show started without that hat.
There you go. I bring this up, and I brought this up when they done this to Bill Cosby from 1970. I don't feel that it was right, even though he may have done it. 1970, 1975 is too far back to charge somebody for something because no one's memory is that good. George Foreman is the next person that is being accused of something from 1973. They're saying that he sexually assaulted someone. He says he didn't do it. That's way, way back there. I thought it was like a 3-year limitation on most things that you couldn't sue somebody.
He says they're extortionists. I'm going to say...
He's probably right.
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
If it did happen, maybe you should have reported it to make it more believable back. Or even like 5 years ago.
All of this is going to do, of doing that to Bill Cosby, is cause more and more of this, of people claiming this stuff.
I don't doubt that there's abuse victims that don't speak up.
There is.
And they hold it in because they're scared, or especially when there's a powerful person involved. But I guess in my mind, and this is just my sole opinion, if you're going to hold it in 30, 50, what is that, 50 years later? It's kind of tough to get it.
Might as well just keep it in.
Yeah, might as well just hang on to it. Take it on with you.
I imagine that it would take me about that long to muster up the money to get a lawyer in the first place. So it's kind of hard for me to blame them,
So 50 years later, I'm going to sue you.
50 years later, working
you made me mad 50 years ago.
$10 an hour job. I'm coming after you now, buddy.
And this is the talk of the town. As we go to, is it Uvalde? Is that how you pronounce the town in Texas?
I want to say Uvalde, but it may be Uvalde or...
The leaked footage of the police has come out. They didn't want it out. It was leaked out, and as we watched, 77 minutes of doing nothing. The cops ran down the hall. The actual cop that actually went in, that his wife sent him a text when he arrived, they tried to get him to talk about the other cops because he went in regardless, stormed, got his wife out and her kids. He wouldn't talk about the others. He goes, I was not in their position. He goes, I just know I got there. I went in and done what I had to do. But they get to the door within 3 minutes of when the gunshots happened. And gunfire started and they turned and walked out, ran out. And parents are upset.
Yeah, I watched the entire video. It's pretty traumatic.
It is. Don't watch it if things like that bother you.
I mean, you don't see anything. You don't actually see. Yeah, you can hear it. But I did notice some of them, and they were being told to stand down by their superiors. I do know that some of them, they were having to grab them by their collars because I think they were trying to go on. So that's a tough situation. And, I wasn't there. I don't know. But I don't agree with the family members that wanted to go in and get their children. I mean, I think
it would have been hard to stop you to go to get your children.
But they stopped them.
They did.
Yeah.
They're upset, and that's. I won't go too much into that, but I think we needed to.
I hate to go
touch
into
on
it because I know police officers are in such a. We don't know. We're not there. You don't know. You don't know the full true story, even with the video. You know,
videos don't tell everything, but it don't look good.
I wouldn't want to be a police officer, that's for sure, to make those decisions, or to have somebody telling me to make decisions.
The rest of this story that I'm going to bring up, because I was shocked that he was still performing. Tom Jones is denying that he fell out on stage.
He denied it?
Yeah, he said no.
They had to pick him up.
I know. And he's going, no, that didn't really happen.
He's 82.
Why is he still performing?
I'm just thinking, getting up and doing this morning show.
Yeah.
And having to actually get dressed and do my hair and stuff. And I'm way younger than, not that far off, but I'm pretty much younger than Tom Jones. And I think it kills me. And then I have to do my job the rest of the day. He's 82 years old and he gets on stage and performs and sings at 82.
Right.
Like, what kind of energy do you have left?
To
perform and remember your songs.
I know.
I can barely remember anything.
I had talked to a friend of mine not long ago before Earl Thomas Conley passed away, and Earl was brought up. I said, man, I love Earl. And he goes, man, Earl needs to stay home. And he was the promoter of the show that said, I don't like booking him because he can't sing now. He said he's just reached that age where he doesn't need to, and he goes, he won't stop.
I think I'm a firm believer everybody has their day in the sun, and you need to step away and let the next generation have their day in the sun. And
Jeff Dean says he thinks that he just actually fell asleep on stage. It was no health problems. He
fell asleep. He fell out. I think they had to carry him off to the hospital. So for him to say that didn't happen is kind of different.
More on the way. This is Thursday morning. Believe it or not, we're already 9 minutes away from the top of the hour. We got more on the way. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. If you're getting ready to purchase land, make sure you have it surveyed. Contact our friends at the Woodlands Group. Maybe you're selling land, dividing land up. Whatever the case is, the Woodlands Group can help you there. They handle residential and commercial clients. And again, they specialize in property line location, site plans, and a whole lot more. Maybe you have a construction project, and they have the latest equipment to make sure it's done right, including drones. Call Justin Palmer or Brandon Briggs at the Woodlands Group, Surveying Solutions. Let's talk about Snowden & Company. If you're needing a new home, well, they've got it for you. Maybe you want to swap homes. Just do a change there. They got all that for you there. This is a nice lady that done it. Many people have chosen them. 601-453-3937. If you're looking for a forever home, changing, maybe the kids are gone, you need something smaller, they got that. Let them know, as houses are hard to find. Call them, let them know what you're looking for, whether it's a 2, 3, even more bedroom. They'll be on the lookout for you when it comes available. Get you hooked up there from DeKalb all the way out to Northeast. We travel to Dalewood. Look at the beautiful homes there on the lake. If the water is your choice, they got a home for you there as well. Different views, different styles for everybody's taste. Enterprise, Mississippi. Talk to Amanda, her team. They work from Brandon, Mississippi, all the way down from Flowood, back to Meridian, Clark County, Kemper, Lauder, all these places. Even over in Lake Ross Collins, got a home there. See them. You'll find one. Find this at Linmore there in Marion. Beautiful, beautiful. See them? Find out why so many people trust her. This is Amanda and her team. Right there is where they are. 453-3937. They'll get you fixed up and get you into a home before you know it. And again, it's honesty and dependability, and they'll explain all of that paperwork that you know so much about.
Yeah, and hey, it's well worth it to have somebody do it all for you and to do all the inspections that need to be done and the things that you might not know about, and to make sure that you're buying a house that's sound and in good shape. Hey, somebody asked.
What they asked?
I wonder if Tom Jones still has those panties thrown at him, because that was the big deal.
Yes.
My mom loved Tom Jones, and I remember he would always have, and that was a kind of a really racy for back in the day. Mm-hmm. But the ladies would throw the panties at him and stuff, and I'm sure I can't imagine the crowd.
It depends now,
because I did go to Neil Diamond concert a few years ago because I love Neil Diamond so much,
Yeah.
and the crowd, I was the young chick there. If that tells you anything,
Right.
I was like the youngest in the crowd.
Really?
Yeah, so I can only imagine what the Tom Jones crowd looks like.
Denise says she needs some bloomers.
You gonna throw them at Tom Jones if you get some bloomers?
Look at that. There's your baby sister on here this
Where's
morning.
my baby sister?
She's right up there telling you good morning.
Oh, good morning, Deanne. Hey, so somebody said that they got very little rain over by Patrick Allen, which is right down for me, which is shocking because I got a lot of rain.
Clarkdale.
Yeah, I thought
Check
they got
those
a ton
rain
of rain.
gauges.
Yeah,
Hey, Facebook is telling, they sent out a secret memo, and this is how bad it gets in offices. They sent out a secret memo that said, hey, if you happen to notice anybody not pulling their weight, let us know so we can axe them.
at home people, the people that are working from home. You know, and I read an article yesterday that said it's going to be hard to get people to go back. Like when COVID hit, when everybody had to go home and start working from home, people adjusted. You know, you made an office. You took a part of your house and made it your own office.
And then you ended up on a Zoom call in your underwear.
Well, like I do Zoom calls. I work from home because of COVID. Well, we were kind of already adjusting to that. But I work from home, and when I have a Zoom call, for one, I have better filter. I filter myself down to where you can barely
She's talking
recognize.
about your cameras, Dylan.
I'm talking about your camera.
Oh, yeah.
I can filter myself where I have kitty cat ears. So but then I just dress up, business on the top.
Yeah.
I'm wearing Nike Tempo shorts on the bottom, and nobody knows the difference. And I can just, set my little call up that way. So to get people to go back to the office, I personally think they get more out of you at home.
They do.
I think
Because you can eat all day.
I mean, I'm going to tell you something. COVID did not do me justice. It did not. I mean, I don't know what happened. I started off working out at home when it first hit. Then I was doing 2 or 3 workouts a day at home and staying in shape. And then all of a sudden, it's like, ain't nobody ever going to see me again.
Jan Bushman has gone to bragging, and everybody's going, what, Jan? I was on stage with Engelbert Humperdinck in Hawaii. Nobody knows who Engelbert is
Yeah,
anymore.
they do.
After the lovin'.
Engelbert was huge
He's not
back in
more,
the
though.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, I'll hush then. Look,
You didn't even care about my story about how I gained so much weight during COVID.
I was
and that's
not
what
going to
happened.
bring up weight because I learned myself about 20 years ago or 30 with you never to bring that word up.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
All right. We want to say goodbye. We want to say thank you for y'all coming by and visiting with us. Dylan, thank you.
Thank you,
Again,
Dylan.
rain should be ending by 4 today, and we'll be back tomorrow beginning at 8 a.m. Thank y'all so much.
Have a good day.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: